Hi everybody. So I want to start today with a question. The question is, if you were serving in the US Army, if you were deployed overseas protecting America, and you came back to find your wife had been arrested by immigration agents while you were gone, then what would you think? See, that is not hypothetical. That is exactly what happened to more than 50 US soldiers and their families. The Associated Press just confirmed it, and today we connect this story directly to every Indian in America. Hi everybody, you're watching EIKOS Global and I'm your host Neha Upadhyay. So what the Associated Press found? The Associated Press conducted a detailed investigation published just days ago, and here is what they found. Since Trump returned to office in January 2025, more than 50 parents and spouses of active duty US military service members have been detained by immigration authorities. At least 6 of them have already been deported, 1 self-deported, and at least 8 family members of US service members are still sitting in federal immigration custody right now. Today, people married to or the parents of soldiers who are actively serving in the United States military being held in detention centers while their family members wear the American uniform and fight for this country. Now let us talk about the story that broke hearts. Staff Sergeant Wilmer, he served in Iraq. He served in Afghanistan. He gave years of his life to America, and his wife was detained by ICE. Florida Republican Congresswoman Maria, who generally supports Trump's immigration policies, stood up at a press conference and said directly, "The immigration system is failing the honorable and good Americans, even Republicans. People who support Trump are also saying that this has gone too far. Because when you detain the wife of a man who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, something has gone very wrong. Something has gone deeply wrong." Now here is the data from ProPublica that makes this even more alarming. Under the Trump administration, ICE has detained the parents of more than 11,000 US citizen children, 11,000 children, American citizens whose parents have been arrested, and here is the comparison that tells you everything. Under the Biden administration, ICE detained parents of US citizen children at a certain rate. Under Trump, that rate has more than doubled. 4 times as many mothers of US citizen children are being detained per day under Trump as were under Biden. 4 times. And more than half of the detained fathers and about 3/4 of the detained mothers had no criminal convictions at all. Not a single one, just immigration violations or nothing at all. So why Indians must pay attention? See, if the Trump administration is willing to detain the spouses and parents of people who are actively serving in the US military, people who are literally fighting for America, what does that tell you about how they review other immigrants, including Indians on H1B, including Indian students on F1, including Indian parents visiting on B2 visa, including Indian seniors who come to spend time with their children in America? The message from this AP investigation is very clear. No immigration status, no matter how sympathetic, is fully protected right now. Military families were supposed to be untouchable and they are being touched, which means every Indian in America needs to be more careful than ever before. Now here is something worth knowing. There are thousands of Indian Americans serving in the United States military right now. Proud Americans who chose to serve this country, and many of them have family members, parents, spouses, siblings who are Indian born, who are here, who are in America on various immigration status, B2 visitor visa, pending green cards, pending citizenship applications. Under the current enforcement environment, those family members are at risk, just like the family members of non-Indian soldiers at risk. The uniform does not provide the protection it once did, and that is deeply troubling reality that every Indian American military family needs to understand right now. Now here is something very important. Even within Trump's own party, this has created real pushback. 61 Democrats from the Senate and House sent a letter to Defense Secretary and DHS Secretary demanding an investigation into how military protections for immigrant family members are being dismantled, and even some Republicans like Congresswoman Salazar have publicly called for the release of detained military spouses. So this is not just a partisan issue, this is a human issue getting attention at every highest levels of government, and the pressure is building. So that's all in this video. If you want to know more about immigration and Indian diaspora living in the US, UK and Canada like countries, this is the right channel. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you get notification every time a new video gets uploaded. That's all in this video. See you in the next one. Till then, this is me, Neha Upadhyay, signing off.